Benny's Adventure Team, assemble!
Everybody, welcome back to another video. Oh.
Adventure time!
You'll get frostbite.
There is no escape!
Hey
there!
Into it. Breaking a sweat.
Hey there!
It's a slice right yet.
Illusion shattered!
This is found.
Shine down! But a momentary distraction. Be amazed! Torn to oblivion! There is no escape! Shine down! There is no escape! Teamwork is dreamwork! Coming at ya! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
Hey there! Hey there! Going in! Cue the spotlight! A proper send-down! From Destino and
Torn to oblivion! Shine down! Illusion shattered! Ha! 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 There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
the Academia? Ugh, what happened this time?
Did you hear what happened? It's the Academy.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra. Better see Barbara at the cathedral if you're injured.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base. Oh. Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quick?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Melus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, at a glance...
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink synth for an extended... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was
Boss's uncompromising attitude, and not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some... But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Huh?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit... Looking back on it, though...
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costume. But, considering it now,
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina di Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that... But what drove all...
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful are still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect—
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might— Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Malus, what was the key evidence?
It's the location when he was threatened. But if you want to,
Why? If we...
you mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have but a single visit. The worst case...
Then...
Well, you saw...
But things...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe. If the vendors did, after several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to it. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand.
I didn't know how to face you. I know only...
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all... On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they...
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current...
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened, after my partner here put the can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing...
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Valet Mermoni.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that...
Oh, so you've got...
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there is...
I mean, Callus to defend. It would be next to him. Anyway.
Ah, yes. What happened at the...
If you want to go through the...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your bag. If you try to make removing a serial number is also... So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
I need to get out more.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking... Sure. I will let him know.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House.
Yes.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, The Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
This can work. I'll just treat them as new samples.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose. Anyway.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from... Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security. So
you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Thierry, you say? But...
Yeah. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out.
Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large... It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartak.
What?
Yeah,
Well...
Wait, how? None of our...
That's what I thought was strange. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned and...
Right.
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just since this is a trial about the serial You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require... It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by...
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. Entrance that leads to the Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
It would appear that I must repeat my question. Do you accept the...
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that... In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit that when I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants... Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of...
Alas, it would have... In that case, let...
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you... Miss Navia, this is... But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by—
Oh. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person...
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriès.
Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind... And if the
Yes.
In that case, members of the guards, please contact... Mr. Marcel.
Apology. I think an attorney...
Very well.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. To the... Only through Elucid...
Navia, come on. If that's enough to...
I think there's no point in get... Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, during the banquet, when the guests arrived at the guard's investigation did not... The suspect did not dispute this Callis was defeated by Champion Duke. These are the known facts.
The one... after that... However... The testimony of the victim's family, however, this assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to... A pile of... But now, since it... Realizing this, the true...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water...
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime.
But I...
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you have the evidence to...
Boo! I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a map, considering the series...
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette.
Maybe she's scared of...
Alternatively...
My second question has to do with the ensuing... Then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he...
I've thought about this too. And the answer is actually pretty simple. The dissolving power my father could have exposed at that time. What was certain, however.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in it? But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot. And
so, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clorinde. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your but since he entrusted his will to you, Clorinde, you should tell us the truth about his
so...
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles, and taken a countless in my line of work. Just one look, I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist, that Mr. Cal...
Since that's your testimony...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not...
Right? What she said was fast...
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial...
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are in my father's case, the culprit intended to kill and, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely, coincidentally,
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to I know that even with... Alas, who won't feel at least a little... But if I were to dismiss... Do you know what the big...
I suppose you're...
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. In addition, I left my home in Snezhny, but the
I do apologize.
No.
Is there anything... You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask, could those records and testimonies do something to appease the...
seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate...
I think you've done us a... But aren't you going... He wished for you, once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong in...
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference... The people whose... Many people... And whose... Is it a man named... Vacher?
Huh.
Oh. So you do know that name.
I've merely surprised...
I was waiting... There is no escape! Hey there! Hiya! Watch out!
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising! Now we can swim to the top! But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Torn to oblivion! Shine down!
Coming at ya! Watch out! Hiya!
Now the path is clear! Let's go!
Illusion shattered!
Ow! Let the magic begin! Watch out! Hiya! Attack! That's the way! Watch out!
There is no escape!
Though, as expected, that... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Huh? You mean the girls... and then... and all the boxes of things. They snake... What's this over here? Looks like some... Experiment number... The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's... But... Did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it? No, that's not it either! If that's the case... In any... written here? Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have the old dog's a real he can act whenever. I concur. Let's send... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the water. Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here. And it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the... If you dilute it with Paimon will take... We've looked at almost everything Yeah. We haven't found anything that... No wonder even Neuvillette was that way. Even if we bring all this back to the... Sure thing. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's Then... Aw. It's just... So many. The final... Marcel... Wait, but... Marcel...
And whose image? Is it a man? Oh. I was Navia!
We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've...
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already know everything. After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that... Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior well, Marcel. You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's...
Or our determination.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you think... Pay attention to you? What for? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no... Well, Now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your... Vignere is dead! We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she... But I'm not from this blasted place!
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Do you all see? I did all of that. I spent my entire...
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Vignere, please!
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guard. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to... To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his... After exchanging blows with... Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect and just recently, Vacher attempted to... However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power... Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial... The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial...
We really just wit...
Yippee! We have Navia, but he's hurt so many innocent people. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absent.
The day our late boss had all...
Yeah.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way,
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can...
Oh, come on.
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a...
Through evidence presented in the public, the guilty party has been identified. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your...
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the chief.
I mean, have you ever heard of an...
But weren't the charges about the serial
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique... Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld. Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
I don't know what happened there either.
What does Lady Verena mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the
My dear, don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty...
However, if you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial. Everything, all shall be... Now, having said that...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying...
She probably just put on... However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly. After all, he's done plenty of...
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing?
Stop resisting!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the... I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up, you've...
Really? You did? You're the Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. Please give me a chance to talk to her again.
What? Give an inch and...
Paimon agrees!
This request, is it worth...
Of course!
Humans. Very well.
Your Honor.
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that...
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah.
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vignere, it's me!
Vache!
I'm here!
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vignere, is that you?
Vache! Why did you come? Didn't I say? You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 all this time. I must be... Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you. If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been... If not for you, it's all because of your selfishness, Vache.
Wait, you are not Vignier.
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is V.
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. But did you ever consider... You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? 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 Drown.
We have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been...
Well met, partner.
Even this weather can't...
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey!
Oh, now...
Sounds like you're really enjoying life.
It's just been... Everyone from Spina di Rosula this time, though.
So his name's definitely been...
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, she was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super...
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the Opera House with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool. Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Oh, are you two
It was thanks to her that we were...
Oh, that's...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will... Oh,
what is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Sure thing.
And in that case...
Yeah, you're right.
Huh? Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Now...
My apologies. I should have asked.
Don't say...
Sorry about...
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but...
In that case, I would...
In any case...
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather... Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful... I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than what... But Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively, if not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he... And in the end, from a justice that's hot. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with... That high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your heart.
So, you're...
Sorry about that.
Didn't I just say...
So Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their pieces. Let's not disturb them for now. Paimon's never... Huh? Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Neuvillette is still
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come?
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we...
I see.
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this, since you're usually...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would... Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, is there anything else? My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the oratory.
But you all...
For many years, I have been quite aware as a divinely... Not only can it produce... Which is all to say... I was not aware. In any case, based on Furina's... While we do intend... If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like?
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only... There used to be a special sea on the... Most of Tevat's life forms were for...
So...
But today, the primordial... What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant. Indeed. Why would the primordial sea... Which, to be frank, is there any... Your sibling, if he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, is there any... That the sea level, does that appropriately...
That's right!
Yes, up to... Rumors have...
A prophecy?
2 parts of the prophecy. Speaking of the if the rumors were true, then perhaps...
But, with...
Is there anything else you'd like... Very well. It was my honor to provide you with... It will soon be time for me to leave.
You really are super...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off.
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. We've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back ready for us there, didn't she? Come on, let's go!
Syrian. You gotta keep up with the changing times.
Yep, here's the room, and it's empty. Now that it's cereal, why don't we stay and rest up here for a while? Oh, come on, this place. Oh, remember that detective story Paimon read before? Paimon didn't expect that stuff.
Excuse me, but do you know if the Traveler and Paimon are lodging here?
Huh? Who are you? Paimon?
A blonde Traveler and a chatty little fairy. Whew, looks like I found the place.
Hey, what do you mean by chatty? Paimon's always careful.
It's an honor to meet you both.
Nivelette? He wants to see us again already?
I am not privy.
If you say so, but...
Now that I've delivered the message,
Thanks! We haven't left the room for a few days, so we'll head over once we've freshened up a bit.
Yes, I did send someone to fetch you. But as for what I'd like to discuss next, well...
Given that we've already made...
I do indeed have... The situation is this. If I'm understanding you correctly, the Snezhnayan Harbinger known as the Knave has essentially requested a diplomatic meeting with you, correct? I heard that she was a... I sincerely advise you to refuse her invitation. I'm sure you're aware that her purpose is most likely related to Child's... We convicted... I believe we should adopt an evasive stance until we can provide a
No, we shouldn't.
Oh?
Well, you see, we are the ones that owe an explanation. It's like...
Though diplomat... Moreover, even if we were to talk in person...
Besides...
I must clarify, but more importantly, when did I agree to join...
You mean you won't come? No, that won't do. I can't go to the meeting alone.
Lady Furina.
No, not at all. Look, I am the Hydro Archon of Fontaine, Focalor, the god of justice who is loved, so I...
Though it could officially be considered a I assume you see it the same way, Miss Furina? Lady Furina?
Oh! yes, that's right. Just like you to make...
It's a pleasure.
Hello.
First, I would like to thank the two of you. The children of the House of the Hearth are often misunderstood. Perhaps due to the reputation of the Fatui. There's no... All I meant to say is that Fontaine has been stable. That is something...
Now then.
Well, yes. As we are both diplomats from Snezhnaya, as well as Fatui Harbingers, Child and I have always been colleagues. Were anything to happen in Fontaine, each of us would serve as the other's attorney to resolve the... So now, in my capacity as his attorney, I request that Child be turned over to Snezhnaya. We have a responsibility to cooperate with Fontaine and resolve what has happened to him together.
The rules governing attorneys only apply before a trial has
An outright Okay. You don't need to It's not like you...
The Fortress of Meropide has always been completely autonomous. Even we have no authority to interfere there, and diplomatic issues do not suffice as an excuse. However, if you absolutely must confirm the situation of the Harbinger, I have a proposal.
The Knave showed up already? Well, Lyney did say that Father will be returning soon. We didn't even know that Lyney was from the House of the Hearth at the time.
Yes, thank you for your kind advice. I'm well aware of the situation. I also noticed that Lady Furina acts a little odd and unnatural whenever I bring up matters related to the Knave.
Could the Knave be threatening Lady Furina or something?
If that were the case, then why wouldn't Lady Furina inform me?
So maybe that's not very likely. Even though Furina can act a little weird at times.
In reality, this problem is even more thorny than it appears. The details are still unclear. We kept special guards oversee the fortress, and its internal systems are... I was only willing to share this information with you because you...
So this is what you wanted to see us about before...
Yes. I would like you to go to the Fortress of Meropide and investigate Child's disappearance. This was my proposal during our meeting with the Knave did not...
So that means we bought ourselves some time.
Firstly, you're already acquainted with Child. Your eyes may discern relevant details there that others would miss. And secondly, is the consideration of the unique nature of the Fortress of Meropide.
Isn't it just Fontaine's prison?
I would not define it so crudely. Early in Fontaine's history, criminals were punished with exile, not imprisonment. The Fortress of Meropide may seem like a prison, but it should in fact be regarded as a gathering place for exiles. All we do is dispatch guards to keep watch and help maintain security. Although I do have a...
Oh!
Correct. So, are you two willing to accept my proposal?
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, it seems we're the best choice. Alright, we hereby accept this difficult task. Reluctantly.
You two have my sincere thanks. We will rendezvous at the Fortress of Meropede's entrance on Eraneus.
Prepared ourselves? Is there some...
Perhaps you could enjoy a good meal and have a nice bath. I'm afraid...
Oh, right! On second thought is...
Please do not worry. Since you are sacrificing both your time and quality, you will be compensated according to the...
Now that's...
Are you leaving now? In that case, please take this...
I think I may have miscalculated that. Oopsies. So be suspicious?
Paimon will have that, and that. Oh, and one of those too. No Fanta, thank you. That cake was pretty good. But now that Paimon thinks about it, we've always been... But... Let's...
Oh, what is that I hear? Is it...
Hey! You can't...
Oh, don't remind me. I invited an eyewitness to a case to eat here, and I was planning to get some great material out of it. Calm down, calm down. This is nothing new. As a journalist, you should be used to this by...
You know we can still...
Never mind. It's nothing. I just heard you mention the Fortress of Meripede. You didn't commit a crime, did you?
No way! We would never! We're just going there... Oh no, Paimon almost forgot that Neverlet told us to keep it a secret!
Huh? You're being arrested for that? Oh. But now that I think about it, I suppose that's not completely
You mean Paimon really did something that serious? Sorry, Paimon.
In that case, it's nothing particularly newsworthy after all. Oh, how Oh, right. There's still a chance. Since you're going to be at the Fortress of Meripede, would you be willing to help me gather some material?
About that, Paimon doesn't think...
Oh, it's nothing difficult. All you have to do is think of a way to get some time face-to-face with the warden of the fortress. He was awarded the honorary title of Duke in Fontaine. So, on top of that, the Fortress of Oh, if I could write...
You make it sound easy.
Of course. I wouldn't ask you to do...
Alright, you got a deal. We'll do anything you want.
Then it's settled. The food should be here any second, right? Huh? Wait, just how much did you order?
Oh, Paimon's so full. Well, guess we have nothing to regret now, so let's get going. didn't she?
I'm going to kill Paimon one day. Not like out of... Wait, how am I meant to get over there? Okay. I got this. And that's how I go to turn my phone on. Yeah, I still don't agree with that shit. Anyway. Alright. Lynette. Oh. What breed? What breed? You have oddly big ears, but you also are oddly very cute. You're very cute. But I must go. I've got things to do and places to be.
Surprise!
Whoa. I hate to be that person, but there's a thingy. There's a thingy. If I can grab it, I may be able to just climb myself back up. Let's see. Can I climb myself back up? I can climb myself back up here.
Over here!
You have come, just as promised. Yes, this is the one and only entrance to the fortress of Meripede from Erineus. Careful. You may want to step back a bit.
Ooh, so you have to go down from here? Is the prisoner...
Utilizing both the but do not worry. Oh, and there's one more.
Yeah, we...
Correct. He is the highest-ranking manager of the underwater prison. Even though you are going there to investigate at my behest, it would behoove you to avoid any confrontation with him or any of his subordinates. The Duke rarely ever leaves the fortress of Meripede, but that does not mean he is not privy to all that is happening inside and outside. All right, that's about all the time.
Don't worry, we won't...
Good.
I'm here, Monsieur Nervalet. These two are the newest convicts, I presume? Don't worry.
Like we would try.
Please follow me, you two. I'll process your paperwork for entering the fortress of...
What? Oh, mate. Fuck off. Of course. Why is it that I must complete? Wait, you telling me I can't go down there at all? my god, this is absolutely bullshit. Why is this game... Thank God I have a teleportation down here. What the hell do you want? Oh, for fuck's... Oh, this is honestly pissing me off. I shouldn't need to do this. I'm meant to be doing the goddamn main quest, and this is fucking stopping me from even doing that. Oh, this pisses me off. Oh, yay, a child. I actually might just end the live stream here because this has just ruined my mood. I'm sincerely going to go kill myself. Am I the only one who finds this really annoying? Let me guess, you want to hit me this one too? No? Okay. My head hurts.
What should we do for our next performance?
Shine down!
I really, really don't want to be doing this quest. But I basically have no fucking choice to do so, because if I want to do this... Oh, we finally stopped! Oh my god, it's a miracle. The reason why I'm skipping through this is because the reason why I hate these sort of quests is because Paimon or none of the characters speak and I can't read, so there's no real point of me listening to these, trying to read these storylines because I can't read, so. Why can't I just be done with this quest? There's like real no point of me doing it. Because I can't read anyway, so...
Surprise!
I'm so taking a nap after this. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I literally don't feel amused doing this quest. Because it sucks for me, because it's no fun for me, because I enjoy listening to the actual quests themselves. Listening to the voices and the actors. But it's, like, literally difficult for me because I can't read. This fucking sucks. I just want this quest to be done with. Oh, can I just have this over and done with, please? I want this quest to be done with. It's no fun. My ADHD is like legit so bored right now. I'm gonna fall asleep if I continue with this, honestly. I know I'm complaining, but it's just really difficult for me to be amused. That's the joys of having ADHD. Your mood can be very easily freaking destroyed by the simplest things, and it just gets harder each time. Please don't tell me. You know what? I'm just gonna end the stream here. I can't deal with this. I legit can't. I'm sorry. Hopefully when I stream again, this quest will be completed and we'll finish off with the Archon quest. Most likely tomorrow because I do not feel well, so I probably won't be having my caseworker tomorrow. But on the side note, at least we got here. Yay! Can I swim here? Huh. We can swim, but we can't, like, go underneath the water. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall catch you guys next time. Again, I did the wrong thing.